Okay, then let's focus now on Premier League match week 10. Some massive games coming up. Arsenal against Liverpool is the first game we're going to focus on, gents. 7 wins from 8 from Arsenal, sit top of the table. Gunners are flying. They're 11 points above Liverpool right now. Nick, what is the key to this game and what's been the key to Arsenal's success? Because they have struggled against Liverpool over the last few seasons, but going into this game, they're the favourites, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially being at home. And I'll tell you what, attitude is the difference between these two clubs right now, which is crazy when you talk about those mentality monsters. We didn't mention it when we were talking about Liverpool-Brighton, but the weirdest thing about that game is they go up 3-2 and give up an equalizer. That is something that we just don't see from them. And if that's defensive deficiencies, fine. By the way, geez, if Jurgen Klopp didn't talk to Trent Alexander-Arnold and say, did you hear all those good things I said about you this week? Why? Why would you do that this week? That's the issue. Is it guys playing in the wrong position? Maybe is Van Dijk on the downturn? It's possible. But really, I just think that attitude of, all right, Liverpool's retaken the lead. This game is over. I didn't think that for a second. And they were playing a Brighton team that just changed managers. So if I look at the way Arsenal is buzzing, all that said, little bit of a, whatever you want to say there, the silver lining for Liverpool is, I think if Liverpool could beat Arsenal here, it could not only short circuit Arsenal's season in a big way and make them ask really big questions, but it could kick Liverpool right back into the, we're fine now, let's just win the rest of our games.
Andy, I mentioned it at the start there. Arsenal really struggled tactically to match up against Liverpool in recent seasons. Arsenal have only won one of their last 14 Premier League matches against Liverpool. So they have been terrible against this specific team. Going into this weekend, though, Nick mentioned their defensive issues. For Liverpool, they were all over the place against Brighton. They are pulled all over the place in pretty much every game right now. And when you have Gabriel Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, and others just absolutely clicking at the top of their game, and as a unit, they're excellent, and the balance is perfect in this Arsenal attack right now. This is a recipe for disaster for Liverpool, isn't it? I mean, I'm really building up Arsenal, especially me here, but it's all signs are pointing towards a pretty easy win for Arsenal at home. But is it going to be like that?
Well, it's been 6 games against Liverpool since Arsenal scored a goal. So that paints a little bit of a picture of how much they've struggled against them. 11 goals they've conceded in those 6 games as well. Now, a couple of them were, I think, a League Cup semifinal in there. So, 2 legs and everything plays into it a bit. But there's a 4-0. There's a 4-0, a 3-0, a couple 2-0s. They have absolutely destroyed Arsenal every time they've played. And they've not just played Arsenal when they've been down. They've played Arsenal when they've been feeling very confident, and they come up against Liverpool, and maybe it's one of those teams, maybe it's stylistically, maybe it's the intensity, maybe it's the confidence that Liverpool have had over the years that no matter who they play, they take the field, we're going to dominate this game, it's going to be played on our terms. Does that exist with this Liverpool team right now? We don't know, and I think that's a big thing we're going to find out when this game is played this weekend, because if they can flip that switch and say, hey, look, 1, this is a big game because it's against another top 6 and probably top 4, maybe title contender this season. But 2, it's a possibility to, like Nick said, jumpstart our season, save ourselves this year so that we don't completely fall apart. So I do think Virgil van Dijk is very much on the decline. I spent a lot of time looking at some of his numbers and stuff this weekend because Liverpool just continue to concede goals at an alarming rate for them. And defensively, he's not as active as he used to be, but where he's really, really, fallen short of the very best of himself is in the ball progression. He's not carrying the ball forward the way that he used to. I think physically he's just not able to. I think also that midfield doesn't quite support it and protect the back line enough. So there's a lot of problems at Liverpool, and Arsenal, I think, are probably the team to exploit it right now, the confidence they have and the way that they play.
Well, you mentioned there, Andy, confidence. That's the big factor that Jurgen Klopp says Liverpool are missing right now, and that's impacting their entire game. They're such a confident team. You can see when they press high from front, the midfield, defensive lines high, it all works, that system. But as soon as it falls down, it can be exposed pretty easily by passing through. And what I love about Arsenal, I was at the North London derby win, and the balance of the team, when you look at it and it's in front of you, from Zinchenko and Ben White stepping into midfield, Partey and Xhaka, the defensive solidity they give, and those great attackers that we mentioned there, and Jesus buzzing around, and Saliba, by the way, has been excellent at centre-back as well. There are very few weaknesses in this Arsenal team, and their bench is incredibly strong as well when you look to that. So I think the fact that it's such a positive place right now, the Emirates Stadium, off the back of a win against Tottenham as well, and Mikel Arteta, the creativity they have, this is only going one way. So prediction-wise, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I think, lads, I mean, let's give some quick predictions here. Andy, what are you going with?
3-2 Arsenal. It's going to be wide open.
Okay, 3-2 Arsenal. Wow, okay.
Nick? Give me 2-2, but I think Mohamed Salah is due for a big game, and I think he's had him against Arsenal before.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.